Welcome to Beyond the Bio with Terra the Connector, a podcast about people behind the success stories. I'm Terra Csotty, entrepreneur, host, and passionate connector, and I believe that behind every achievement, there's a journey filled with lessons, courage, and connection. This show isn't about filters, highlights, or titles. It's about the real stuff, the risk, the growth, and the relationships that shape who we become. Because success isn't just what you do, it's who you are beyond the bio. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Bio with Terra the Connector. And I'm here today with Bernard Shamow, and he is the team leader of BAS Group, and it's brokered by eXp Realty. He has a new office, amazing office, by the way, in Auburn Hills. And he's a top 1% agent nationwide. And last year did over 40 million, just last year alone. So thank you for being on my podcast, Bernard. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's always good to catch up with you.
Now, I've been on a lot of your podcasts because Bernard is awesome at, he also does some stuff with Real Push Podcasts. And you and Dominic are always at quite a few of our events, helping get content and getting me on camera. So it's nice to have you here for a change.
It's so good to be here. I love our partnership with Real Push for the podcast and obviously Real Producers. We always love to partner. You're doing a lot of great things for all the realtors out there and giving us the platform. So anytime we can partner up, it's always a bonus for us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Bernard, you've been featured in Real Producers, and I know this is not a Real Producers, this is not a Real Producers podcast. However, I do have a lot of top agents that are guests on the show. But you've been in real estate for quite a while, and I would love to hear a little bit more about how did you even get into real estate? Tell me a little bit of how this came about.
Yeah. It's been a great journey. It's been almost it's my 9th full year in real estate.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice. So I've always done hospitality my entire life. I started off doing hospitality at the hotels when I was 18 years old. I started off as a bellman, and so hospitality for me came naturally. It was always helping people. Then I did a little bit of retail with Home Depot. I was a store manager for Home Depot.
Oh, nice.
And that was my recent career prior to getting into real estate 9 years ago. But during the younger years of hospitality, it was just growing up in hotels and going through the chain of growth through hospitality and helping people check in and the whole hotel scene. And so then that transitioned into real estate. And I always had people tell me, hey, man, you should try real estate. And, it's because after putting some thought into it, it was like, how do I help people achieve the American dream of home ownership and doing it at the highest level? So I gave it a shot 9 years ago, and here we are 9 years later.
Yeah. Okay, so you were I did not know this about you in the hotel industry.
Yeah.
So are you from Michigan?
Yeah, born and raised in Michigan. I spent my entire life but 4 years here. From 26 to 2010, we moved to Minneapolis, my wife, Rebecca, and I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
She worked for Target. Their world headquarters was there.
Okay.
And I was in the hospitality business with Starwood. They have the W brands and the Westin brands.
Yeah.
So we both relocated there. I went without a job but found one within a week because there was a lot of opportunity in Minneapolis for some luxury hotels. So it worked out good. Came back here in 2010. Did Home Depot till 2016, and here we are 9 years later.
Nice.
9 years later, jumped on. My buddy Randy Gammo said, you got to come, you got to do real estate. When we came back, hospitality was getting old because, there's always a cap or a ceiling on what you can make or how much you can do or how you can help people. And I always thought we got to do bigger things than manage hotels. That's what got me into real estate.
So the income opportunity was appealing?
Well, I don't even know if I looked at it from an income standpoint. I looked at it from a growth standpoint, from how can I scale up my personal brand. But I had to start. I had to start somewhere. In the first 3 years, I certainly wasn't making the money I was making being a store manager for Home Depot or running hotels. But I had to learn the hard way. Because when I got into real estate, a lot of things at that point had come easy for me.
Okay.
you could say I was a little bit charismatic. I was smart. I knew how to run a business. I knew how to read a profit and loss. And so I thought that would resonate into the real estate market. I didn't need to call people or prospect or phone.
They're going to call you.
And even though they did, it wasn't the way I wanted my business to grow. So everybody was kicking my butt the first 3 years. And it's an important story, you know. I think you mentioned last year $40 million in volume. Didn't happen overnight.
Right.
A lot of losses along the way, a lot of lessons along the way to get to where I wanted to be today. And we're not finished.
So tell me about maybe one of those lessons that you've learned over the years. Did something challenging happen that made you tweak something in your business or help you grow in a certain way?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it takes me right back to the first 3 years of real estate. Having worked hard and put in the work in other fields, other sectors, so to speak, whether it was hospitality and retail, you're kind of limited to your growth. And so when I jumped into the real estate market, I remember what it was specifically. We'd always be having these team meetings, month in and month out. And there's a lot of these producers that were getting recognized and getting the bigger paychecks and being trusted with bigger deals. And, for me, I was like, well, I've always done things the right way. I'm always growing. But I really didn't understand the detail and the commitment it took in real estate. So I wasn't living up to my potential, number one. I took the job for granted, number two. I think a lot of lesser experienced agents after COVID had that mindset, which is, everybody's making money. It's an easy business, and that's far from the truth.
Right.
Nobody sees what happens behind the scenes, the grind, the hustle, the phoning, the sacrifice, the commitments. And I wasn't committed to that the first 3 years. So that's why today, when I'm able to speak about, I did a talk about, I can't take you to places I haven't been. It comes from experience. It comes from lessons learned. It comes from a lot of losses, So It's a great question.
Now, Bernard, you really do light up a room when you're there, people know you're there. And I love your energy you bring wherever you go. Is that something, have you always been like that? Or is that something that you taught yourself? Where does that come from?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying takes one to know one. Takes one to know one, because I feel like the energy you bring to a lot of the events and the excitement you have and the passion you have for your business, for me, it comes naturally. It comes naturally. I love to, I always say, I tell my wife this all the time, and I did a play for our church at Easter.
Really?
If this wasn't my career, I would have been in Broadway.
Oh, nice.
I love theater.
Yeah.
I love natural. I love organic, and that's just my personality. So, and when you have that passion, and when you feel like you're adding value through that energy, it comes so natural.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you love what you do, I love to talk real estate. I love to talk, how do I grow? How do I get better? Not me, but other people. So when I'm in that moment, and when I'm on stage, and when I have a platform to say, hey, if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Not that I've done it, but it just comes so naturally.
Oh, yeah. You're so confident on stage.
Yeah.
Most people, that's their biggest fear is being on stage, but you are a natural. Do you enjoy speaking in front of people in a group?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I do. I enjoy it because it allows me to, recalibrate. It allows me to focus. It allows me to reflect and prepare for what I'm about to talk about.
Yeah.
Anytime you get an opportunity, even on this podcast or on a stage or in a magazine or in front of one person or 20 people, maybe a little impact, maybe add a piece of value that they can take with them. By the way, vice versa. Maybe I can learn something from the way people react or the way questions people ask. I mean, it doesn't get better than that for me. Yeah. It's all about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Rebecca, that's your wife.
It is.
So she works with you, correct?
She does. She does. They don't call me Bernard anymore. They say that's Rebecca's husband.
Oh, nice.
No, she does a great job. As you know, we started the team this year, the BAS Group.
Yes.
We're out of Auburn Hills. We got a beautiful office. You've been there.
Yes, it is beautiful.
We got a beautiful office.
Yes.
And Rebecca does all the things that overwhelm me. I can't onboard agents. I can't handle a lot of the behind the scenes or the onboarding, the important stuff that goes on. How do we get them onboarded the right way? How do we get them set up? There's a lot of behind the scenes conversations she has that she's much better at than I am. So it's been great. A lot of people are like, hey, you work with your wife?
Yeah. Has there been any challenges with that?
Well, there's always challenges. If anybody told you any different, they'd be lying. They'd be lying. But our challenges are simple. Are you ever going to stop working? Are you coming? Are you going to be back on time?
Yeah.
And listen, make no mistake about it. From a business standpoint, you always don't see eye to eye. Nobody's going to ever see eye to eye. So we have healthy conversations on what makes most sense for the business.
Yeah.
And a lot of times she might have a better outlook on it than myself. Because what do? I can attract agents. I can add value. I can negotiate a deal. I mean, as good, if not better than most. But she does a lot of things, like I said, that overwhelm me. So sometimes I got to take a step back and say, yeah, you're right. Maybe that does make a little more sense. But yeah, listen, if you're not butting heads, or if you're not challenging each other, or if you're not holding each other accountable, husband, wife, partner, best friends, what good is that relationship?
Right.
Yeah, nobody's going to tell you it's perfect.
Well, and these are some great tips, because I think there are a lot of people in real estate and in many businesses that maybe want their spouse to come in, work with them, but how do you do it effectively? So I think the biggest thing I just took from what you just said is communication.
For sure.
And you can agree to disagree.
No doubt.
Because I think that sometimes one might lead the other to be their way or no way. And it sounds like you guys, and it probably helps that you guys are not in the same office too. I did see, I did see that. I can't imagine.
Same building, other side of the office.
Yeah, I like that, actually.
Well, the communication piece is pretty cool. You're
Right.
spot on with that. It needs to be communication. I think the biggest takeaway I would tell you is don't take it home. Don't take it home. Work is work.
It's a good tip.
It's a great tip. It's a great tip. So when we have that understanding, things fall into place a lot easier. Yeah.
I like that.
Well, it's tough not to do that, because
Yeah.
she cares as much as I do about our business.
Right.
About us helping agents, about us growing, about us doing it the right way. So when you're having dinner, there's only so much you can talk about.
Yeah,
without-
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's funny.
So you just mentioned the BAS Group in Auburn Hills. So what inspired you to open your own office? Because with EXP, you don't need an office, right? But you have the BAS Group, and you're now expanding. So what inspired you to do that?
Yeah. So I would tell you year 4 through year 8, which was the end of last year, every time I did my branding was BAS. It's my initials. It's Bernard Shamow. So I said, I don't want a hierarchy. Let's go with BAS Group. So it took me a minute on the name. My wife and I decided on that. And I think you mentioned, thank you once again for the production that I had last year. And I had always wanted to figure out a way to pay it forward. So two things came to mind when I started thinking about this team last year. There's a big gap in our business, Terra, of agents that maybe need direction, that maybe need guidance, that maybe need to understand how to work their spear and their pipeline and their business. And there's also a fulfillment on my end of how do I pay it forward. I'm maxed out as an individual agent. 100 transactions last year solo.
Shit.
I need to survive. I need a life.
Yeah.
And not only did we build a team, we did it the right way. I mean, our office has 3 phenomenal lenders. Phenomenal lenders. We have world-class lenders in our office. We have a title partner, and we have the space. We created the type of environment that is going to allow us to attract the type of agent that we want. So it was finally a time for me to pay it forward and to do it the right way. And so that was the mindset going into this. And for the record, I think you talked to a lot of team leads. Someone that's starting a business that's coming off that type of production is not going to make the same money if people want to look at it from a financial standpoint. Not the first year, maybe not the second year. They're not going to lose much money, but it's a long-term play. It's a long-term play to grow the business. It's a long-term play to hire the right agents, the agents that want to be coached, the agents that want to learn, the agents that want to grow their brand. And it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling watching agents grow their business. If that $3 million producer next year with the BAS Group can go to a 5 or a 7, if that $5 million producer can go to a 7 or a 10, come on.
Yeah.
Leaders create leaders.
Yeah.
If I don't have an entire new team after 4 years, then I didn't do my job. I don't need anybody with me for 4 years. Those people should be moving on and doing their own thing or growing their own business or their own brokerage or their own team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's obviously the loyal ones that will be with you for a long time. But that was kind of the mindset as it took me a year to kind of just process it. Yeah.
You really care about, like you said, giving back and watching other people grow.
Terra, you saw our office. We have 12,000
Yeah.
square feet.
Yeah.
I can pick up my phone and kind of go through a list of how many agents we could have onboarded, but that wasn't the priority, because if we did have 30 agents tomorrow, are my systems right? Is my structure right? Are my processes accurate? Are they growing? Are they getting all of my time and my attention? So doing it at my pace. We have 14 people, 14 that we're very, very happy with. People that'll produce, they'll learn the systems, they'll learn the processes. Can't wait to watch them grow. We could have 30 tomorrow, but that's not the plan right now. The plan is let's pace this thing at our level, and we'll scale it the way we want to scale it. And if we do it the right way, who knows what's to come.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So, is there anyone that has inspired you over the years? Anyone maybe when you're younger, because you have this work ethic, this drive, great communication skills. Has there been anyone in your life that has helped shape who you are?
So, a lot of us, I'll give you the obvious answer, and maybe reference a dad or an uncle or a family member growing up early. That was certainly my childhood growing up. My dad was a hard worker. He was a hard provider. If you want something done, do it yourself type attitude.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so a lot of my uncles were the same way. They all ended up being successful. That work ethic was instilled in us at a long time ago. And so, sometimes they have that cliche, work smarter, not harder. Well, it's a little bit of both. As I got into real estate, Randy Gammo, a good friend of mine, he had set up a mortgage shop. He had a team. And he had done it the right way. He was growing the right way. So I looked up to a lot of what he had done as a standard. Okay. But I want to say this. It's a beautiful question. With the, personally, I can tell you a lot of my childhood heroes and my dad and all that good stuff. But in the business, when we're talking real estate, we have a habit as newer realtors to look and we'll see, the Tom Zabowskis, the Kathy Brocks, the Tushars, all those big, massive names that have all the big listings. Those guys didn't get there overnight. It took them 30 years. So I used to pay attention to all of them, and I still pay attention to all of them. They did it the right way. The list goes on and on, by the way. Who's been in this business for a long time. There's a lot of people that aren't even on social media. You follow the people that do it the right way. You follow the people that scale up. You follow the people that represent themselves the right way. So there's a handful of those old pioneers that have been doing it for a long time that I still very much look up to.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, listen,
and you're still learning, right?
You're still learning every single day. Every single day.
Now, are you coaching your agents in your office, or do you have someone else on your team that is helping? With EXP, you have cloud-based, so there's a lot of learning through that. But just from going to your office, I can tell there's a fun vibe. It's a beautiful office. I will say that again. The outdoor space is beautiful.
Yeah, public square.
It's just it makes you want to go there, and not every office is like that.
It's crazy nice. It's crazy nice. Tools and resources, cloud-based, EXP, one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
No one's going to argue that. George Shaheen is a partner of mine on the new construction side, 30-year veteran, super knowledgeable. He does a little bit. EXP does a lot of the tools and resources. I do 2 days a week with my team, no matter what, every week.
Oh, nice.
And they get 30-minute sessions to an hour, a one-on-one time. What's on your pipeline? What's going on? What challenges are you facing? How can I help you grow? The brand is the proximity to me. And then I say that humbly. I say that because when you have boots on the ground and you do 100 transactions, and by the way, 80 the year before, 70 the year before, 50 the year before, experience is undefeated. It's the best education you're going to get. So they can pick my brain. We can have a conversation on how to get a deal done or how to get a listing. Or Bernard, do you know this agent? Let's get them on the phone. Let's see if we can get my deal accepted. So they're definitely going to get my time. That's kind of part of the commitment that we make to each other if we onboard a new agent. And then the second piece,
Yeah.
the space. I mean,
I know.
Who doesn't want to work there?
Yeah,
Who
I
doesn't
look
want to
forward
work there?
I need to come there and get some footage in there.
I
'cause
said
that's a great space.
We got a
I
spot
know.
for you whenever you want to just come hang out.
Yeah.
Summer's around the corner though.
There you go. Now, how important would you say relationships are in the industry?
Very, very important. Very important in the industry, and I think a lot of what Real Producers does gives us that platform. On the back end, the front end is how many deals have we done with what agents? Do we reach out? Do we introduce ourselves? Do they know who we are? That's just not attending anything. That's just being a
Right.
realtor. What does Real Producers do? You go to an event. You meet all the agents in Oakland County. You put a face to a name. You meet a partner. You meet an inspector. You meet a mortgage broker. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I know.
Thank you for the shout out.
Well,
Real
it's,
Producer.
it's a very valid and accurate shout out. Relationships is everything in life.
Right.
And there's one. You ever want to go off any cliche ever? Go with the one that is. It's not what you know. It's who you know.
Ooh, I like that.
It's true. It's true. And that is all about relationship building.
Yeah.
If you had a shot at the offer and it was between you and someone that, if somebody had a shot at getting their buyer on my listing and it was between a realtor that called and introduced themselves and they were identical terms, identical financing, I'm going to go with the agent that called and introduced themselves.
I have definitely seen deals happen. Like it's came down to a relationship.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're everything in this business.
Right.
Make no mistake about it.
So what do you envision for the next, year or 2 years? I don't know about you, but for me, I can't. If someone said 10 years, I'm like, I don't know. But let's just look at the next year or two. What do you envision for BAS Group and for yourself?
I envision, it's very easy for me to answer that. I envision growth. I envision a nice footprint and having a big presence in the real estate industry. I envision agents that have grown their business, that understand how to do things the right way, that understand how to negotiate better deals. And I think the beauty of doing it at my pace is, there may be times where I'm going to pivot this year, maybe do things a little bit differently, find out what's working, what's not working. But when if I'm scaling up, that means instead of 15 realtors getting better, that means 30 realtors are getting better, or maybe 45 realtors getting better. The BAS Group has a bigger presence out there. The BAS Group agents are helping out a lot more clients, and they're getting bigger paychecks for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is how do we give back as well? I know that's important to you. When we're doing good things, of course, there's financial reward for that. So how do we reciprocate some of that with some charities and some events and some participations? But I envision growth. Because I'll tell you one thing, the market's going nowhere. The market is going nowhere. Supply and demand is undefeated. So for everybody that says, hey, real estate market's going to crash, it's not. It's not. They've been saying that since 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So it's not going to crash. And the agents that are connected and in tune will grow, and they'll grow their business, and they'll help more people.
Right. Now you mentioned events. So you're highly involved with Real Producers and our events. What other events are you? I saw you speak actually at an event recently. That was the regional EXP event.
Yeah.
But what other events are you going to be present at where maybe people can meet you?
Yeah. Well, we could start with the Real Producers events. Breakfast of Champions is coming up. Oakland County. What an awesome event that's going to be. And breaking it down quickly. You got a panel of 4 or 5, I think 4 in our case, of Oakland County top producers. You're also doing it for Macomb, Wayne, and Grand Rapids?
Yeah, I'm doing it for every market.
Yeah, you're doing it for every market. So that's an opportunity for, let's say, lesser experienced agents, newer agents to go and sit, have breakfast. By the way, love DJ Todd Everett. Get some great music going. I got to send a shout out to my man Todd Everett.
Yes, he's the best.
Understand how people that have done the volume pick takeaways. You know what I love about a 4-person panel, which there's another event coming up? You can identify with a top producer up there and say, love the way he does things.
Right.
Or love the way she does things. I love how he does things, but that's not my style. Maybe I would do it this way.
Right.
I love how she answered that question. They all made sense, but that's how I would answer it. So there's so much knowledge in these things. And you just talked about relationships. Imagine the people you get to meet at these events.
Right.
So super excited about Breakfast of Champions. We'll have that link down below.
Yes, May 13th for Oakland County. You can meet Bernard, and that is 9:30 to 12:30 at Together event venue.
What a nice spot, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know if you saw our promo video out there, but it is a gorgeous space right across from Oakland University.
I can't, which reminds me, I got to get a table for our group.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
I was like,
yeah, you can even reserve a table.
Which, by the way, Rebecca, my wife said, "Hey, we got to get a."
Yeah,
so you see what I'm saying?
definitely.
And then there's the Spring Showdown as well.
Okay.
That's a cool contest. That's at the Garden Theater, April 23rd, next Thursday.
Week? Yeah. Yep,
It's
so-
the 8 Mile Overcoming Objections between 16 top producers in the real estate and lending side.
Nice.
I know it's a great chance for us to connect and meet some other agents and loan officers out there. But that is overcoming objections. So if you're an agent that wants to take notes, and call to action would be, who's my style? How do I learn? Prospecting is a lost art. And that's a lot of growing our business on that
Yeah.
phone. So those two events coming up, and there's some other ones coming up down the road. But
Right.
those two for sure in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. And at the Spring Showdown, you were a past contestant, and this year you are
I'm seeing.
emceeing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's
You
pretty
talked
cool.
about that stage presence early on, right?
Right.
So we're going to create more energy. We're going to create hype. We're going to create excitements. We're going to make sure the participants are feeling comfortable. There'll be some dip music. There'll be some good vibes, great energy, and a lot of networking and a good handshaking going down for sure.
Right.
Garden Theater, great event. A venue's beautiful.
Yeah, it is, definitely. So, okay, let's take a step away from real estate for a minute.
Yeah.
What do you like to do when you're not selling homes, coaching people
Yeah.
at these events? What do you like to do?
God, it's I slow down because sometimes it gets emotional for me. So I've made a big commitment. I mean, I've always been the favorite uncle, but now I'm just really enjoying my time with my nieces and nephews.
Oh, I love
They're
that.
older. We got them between 25 and 5.
Oh, wow.
So planning events with them, and make no mistake about it, I love to golf. So I'm going to golf once a week. We have a little league that we play in.
Nice.
And just that family time, because
Yeah.
you're going all the time. And now I make sure I go to mom and dad's for a lunch once a week. Their house is 30 seconds from the office.
Oh,
What a
that's
bonus.
Oh, great.
So I am trying to. That's the fulfilling piece, by the way. This is fulfilling, but that's the ultimate fulfillment. So valuing the relationships, they're cultivating the relationships, spending some time with the family, and then of course with the boys on the golf course. That's always a great time. Because with the wife, we're doing all of that regardless. So
Right.
some of that stuff outside of the scene is pretty exciting.
Okay, so where's your favorite place to golf?
I would tell you, it's not even the nicest course. People might laugh. It's Sanctuary Lake. It's in Troy,
yeah.
but I live a mile away. So I call it my
There you
home
go.
course, and I play the best there.
There
But
you
we
go.
play a lot of the nice courses, too.
Yeah.
We play some of the country clubs also. So we just get in where we can and play some
Yeah.
golf.
Are you going to any golf? There's a lot of golf charity events in the real estate community. So real producers, we actually don't do events in the
I'm
summer.
surprised.
And because the real estate community is so busy, so we actually
During the summer, you're right.
Yeah, so we go and we support other people's golf outings. And usually they'll see Lexi or Holly or myself on a course sponsoring a hole. So are there any golf outings that you, or fundraising golf outings that you're planning on attending that you're aware of yet this summer?
Yeah. And by the way, as you went through those names, you have such an amazing staff.
Oh, thank
They
you.
do such a good job for
They
you
do.
at all the events. They are there. They are energetic. They're so supportive and so helpful. So you got a great team around you too.
Appreciate
so shout
that.
out to those girls. We're doing a charity golf outing for St. Joseph Chaldean Catholic Church.
Oh, okay.
My cousin, who is the co-owner of Fieldstone Title, he's a sponsor there. But anytime we can participate in a golf outing for
Yeah.
a good cause, you can always count us in.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that one, and then there's. Am I forgetting one? I don't know. We have 2 of them. I don't know where the second one is, but we have 2 of them lined up for this year. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Which one are you guys in this year? Are you sponsoring any?
Yes, we're sponsoring a few with some Women's Council of Realtors and a few
Always.
other brokerages that have invited us.
Yeah.
If anything, if we can't attend or sponsor a hole at the table. We might sponsor a hole or something.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. There'll be a few of them. God, there might be a dozen
There's
this
a
year
lot,
at least.
So if you have a golf outing, reach out to me so we can be in the loop and help promote your event.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so what's on the horizon with yourself? Anything you would like to tell the viewers about you or the BAS Group before we wrap up here?
No. I enjoyed the conversation. I think from a real estate standpoint, if there's a nugget or a tidbit, it's attend the events. It's go out there. Your brand is you.
Yeah.
You're always interviewing, and that can come as simple as saying hi to somebody, and in conversation, what you do for a career comes up. It's not going to come easy, so put in the work. Find yourself a good coach. Find yourself a good mentor. Market's going to be super fluid and healthy.
Yeah.
Tell your people the right way. So find somebody that you can resonate with that might help your business grow. And then this is something that I learned probably in the last year. Take some time to enjoy some of the other moments we just talked about. You know what I mean? Attend the events. Go shake some hands. Go say hello. So, your business is what you're going to make of it.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, no, not much.
So how can people get in touch with you if they want to chat with you, learn more about BAS Group, or ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the best way?
BAS Group, Real Estate. And Bernard Shamow Real Estate are the hashtags on Instagram and Facebook. Okay. So pretty simple. BAS Group Real Estate and then Bernard Shamow Real Estate.
And that's BAS.
BAS.
Not two S's, one S.
One S.
BAS.
One S. You got it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Any other? I'll ask you a quick question before we wrap up because it's always in my nature. Breakfast of Champions coming up for Real Producers, all 4 events.
Yes.
Anything down the road as well? Just so I'm like...
this is natural of you to do because you're usually hosting the podcast.
I know.
So
well, I also like...
I
if
appreciate
you could
that.
shout it out. I want to know about it. I want them to know about it, too.
Yeah, definitely. We have 4 Breakfast of Champions events coming up. We have May 6th in Grand Rapids at the Atrium at Uccello's. And we have May 7th at Redefine Real Estate in Plymouth.
Good spot.
For Wayne County. And then we have at Together with Oakland County on May 13th. And then May 20th, we're going to be at our partner's business, Insta Snap Studios in Macomb.
Very cool.
So, and by the way, you're welcome to come to, I have a few people coming to some of the other
For sure.
events as well. And just reach out to me, go to Terra the Connector, and you can find out how to register for this event.
Awesome. And then anything long-term, like in the fall, or just the golf outings?
Charity, we're planning on dodgeball again.
Yes.
We're debating what else to do in the other counties, but I think we're going to definitely do dodgeball. Your team did really good last year.
We did really good last year. We didn't win, but we did good.
Well, we're going to have refs this year.
We need them.
Yeah,
we need
we're
them.
going to have refs, and people can play. We want at least minimum 2 rounds.
I got a better one for just send me that link now. You can kind of good stuff. Always a pleasure to be on. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and reach out to Bernard. And this episode is sponsored by Josh Myers from JM Visuals, who I got introduced. Bernard connected me with Josh.
He's great.
And he actually does all of our podcasts, and he's been in the industry for 8 years. He actually works with a lot of real estate teams and individuals with photography, video, 3D tours. So if you're looking for some help or just want to give Josh a shot, reach out to Josh Myers with JM Visuals.
He's the best.
Reach him at 810-300-5003. Thanks for joining another episode of Beyond the Bio with Terra the Connector. Thank you so much for spending this time with us on Beyond the Bio. If today's conversation resonated with you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. You can watch the full episode on YouTube or listen wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Apple Music. And if you want more behind-the-scenes content, clips, and updates, be sure to follow us on social media. You can also learn more, connect with me, and explore everything we're building at terratheconnector.com. Thanks again for being here. And remember, success isn't just what you do, it's who you are beyond the bio.